What is up, everybody? This is Alex from IHE TV, and I watched One Last Adventure: The Making of Stranger Things 5, and I was frankly blown away that they released this with the amount of exposing material that kind of explains the quality of Season 5. So I put together about a 12-minute supercut of the most notable bits from the documentary, whittled down from the 2 hours, that I think beautifully illustrates a lot of my critiques of the season and what went wrong. So let's just get into it.
There's always a sense of panic that it's not going to come together.
Game of Thrones. Every showrunner now is terrified of Game of Thronesing it.
And you go, wait, let's go back to the ball of clay. Let's keep working it and keep kneading it. And then eventually it just starts to take shape. Season 1.
Yeah, the scale stuff, that was a big critique of mine.
1 feels so tiny in comparison to where we are now.
The quaintness was kind of the best thing about it.
We like the idea of slowly scaling up the show, just like you would a movie sequel.
Within reason.
It's terrifying because
I feel like Season 4 was a good example of how to scale it up but still keep it character focused.
you see these shows that people love and adore, and the ending falters.
Game of Thrones.
And they just discard the rest of the show.
Game of Thrones.
You can't leave anything dangling. You have to wrap everything up.
Also, that's not necessarily true.
But at the end of the day, it hasn't changed from season 1 in the sense that it all comes down to these.
This is a funny scene to illustrate what they're saying about it not changing. When it's on a giant blue screen, they're all in Mad Max gear for like a huge action scene. What?
Characters, and that's what people care about.
We went into production without having a finished script for the finale.
Dude.
That was scary because we wanted to get it right. It was the most important script of the season.
There are so many shots of the Duffer Brothers looking stressed and depressed. I'd be too if I was them.
God, I don't know how to play this. The longer it goes, the more stories you have to type, the more character arcs you have to type, the more expectations they are with the audience. And
I don't know why you wouldn't at least have some idea or map something out when the show, at least by like season 3, you know it's huge. Netflix are basically going to give you unlimited money like they did for this season. You can do anything. Why you wouldn't have mapped something out back then in order to avoid it eating itself alive like this?
how do you meet those expectations but surprise the audience still? Ross and I had no interest in writing at all. We wanted to direct.
I find that funny too. It's like you didn't have the resources or the talent pool available to offload some of this stuff if they really wanted to just focus on direction. Why did you have to write it? You didn't.
The best way in was probably writing.
The rules of movies and
Oh man. Yeah, so a lot of this documentary, which has some good stuff when it's focusing on the cast and crew, but a lot of it is like jerking off Sean Levy. But the things he says are just like, if you think about it for more than 1 second, it's like, what are you talking about, dude?
the rules of movies and TV back then said you can't make a show about kids that isn't for kids.
Who said that? There are so many examples. In fact, I prepared some. There was Chaos, The It Show, Come and See, Children of the Corn, The Exorcist, The Omen. Like, why can't they just be honest? They have to frame everything like it's groundbreaking and it's shifting the paradigm of modern television. It's like, it's a fun 80s pastiche. They're treating it like it's Lord of the Rings or something.
Yeah, I would say this is a ton of people. We probably should have killed some of you off.
The cast is comically big by the end, and I'll talk about this a bit more when they mention it later, about why they try to justify why they don't kill characters off in the show. At least on the main cast.
Millie's right.
I don't think we ever imagined becoming this big.
Yeah, a lot of references of how big and huge it is, and the scale is what's so important.
In season 5.
We have 12 stages filled with sets.
It makes me sad too, because there is so much detail, and the crew working on the sets and dressing them, building them, did a great job, but the way it was shot and put together just doesn't do it justice at all.
And countless locations. It's massive, massive.
We are laying down the tracks as the train is going.
I don't get why they're saying, I guess they were probably coming from the perspective of, This is honest, it's messy, but it all comes together in the end, not realizing that only Gromit can pull off this.
Season 1, she's the mom.
Yeah, this is a great example of the character stuff kind of being presented in a marvelly hero worship way instead of making the scene involving or tense.
And then she starts to evolve. The evolution to being an action hero
Like what?
is the natural progression for me.
Why?
I think maybe that's all I ever wanted to do.
Audiences
Why?
are getting increasingly savvy to lots of cuts.
They could have written it like she's screaming and she's running away and she's cowering, right?
You mean the mum who's being attacked by a otherworldly demonic creature that was the main threat in the first season? How out of character and strange that would be.
But she's in her wet nightgown coming out to kick ass, transforming into a warrior.
Lame. That scene is so bad. Why would you undercut your creatures in your world like that? I want to see people being scared of them. Isn't it supposed to be horror?
They've always written strong women.
I'm so sick of this trope where the only way to write a strong woman is to take that literally. Like she literally has to beat something up to be strong. Nancy's a much better example of a strong character, but the strength doesn't come from like killing things with weapons. It's like her problem solving and her ingenuity, and that's so much more interesting.
I've always loved what they've given me to do.
Early on, when we were breaking this season, we knew that it was going to be split in the middle. And
So it had to be epic.
So we wanted to build to a big climax before the break because we knew the audience was going to have to wait for the next episode. But it ended up being even bigger and more complicated than we could ever imagine.
This sequence was just such schlock.
There's no question, the Max Z action sequence is the biggest and most challenging sequence we've ever done.
So what? So much work into something so flat and disappointing.
We can have a Demogorgon do anything we want it to do because it's animated.
So this is a weird dichotomy. Throughout this documentary, they constantly talk about how they want to do everything practically and keep it real and tangible, yet they'll say things like this and talk about the giant spider.
But when it's involving real people, it becomes that much more complicated.
An action sequence this enormous could have very easily been taken over by visual effects.
Which it is when you actually watch it.
But the Duffer Brothers say, yeah, do it practically. We want to see it in actuality rather than computer generated.
What's he talking about? It's the most synthetic, CGI heavy sequence.
But it's not just about overcoming these obstacles.
No, it's like the joy of the adventure.
Here we go, they address the death stuff here.
Yeah, and that's something, that's what people don't understand when we're not killing people off, because we were always like, oh, we have to maintain this sense of fun.
Yeah.
Very strange, because I've been watching a bunch of season 4 again to contrast it. And that season is vicious and brutal. Every other episode, there's a child being snapped. With the season obviously ending with Max being snapped. And sure, you don't necessarily have to have her die, but some consequence for the violence would be nice. Like by the time you get to the giant spider, there's no tension because you know none of the characters are in danger.
Right. In the show, or it doesn't become the show anymore. So, or, you know, it just becomes depressing.
But isn't that kind of the challenge of the story, is finding a balance in that tone, which they did in previous seasons. Season 4 is extremely dark at points. Multiple characters do die throughout the shows, it just happens to be none of the real sacred ones, or they're introduced in the same season that they're taken out.
And something crazy happened in that Sean Levy, who's, you know, very established and successful director.
The way they talk about him is like he's Stanley Kubrick or something, or Spielberg. And just a reminder, right? This is who they're talking about when they're jerking off Sean Levy. He's like the yes man director in Hollywood right now. They don't mention the fact that he's so busy and constantly working because he's known in the industry for delivering quickly and under budget, and his films make money because they're like the broadest, lamest slop. Free Guy, the Adam Project. I at least want some balance when it comes to that tension between films being a product and it being an artistic expression or statement, because I just don't feel any artistic statement with his films.
Who was our producer at the time, raised his hand. He really liked the scripts and offered to direct.
We'll shoot this. I'm gonna cut it, Bobby, before the push-in.
I mean, the thing that's cool is the giant monster.
Such. You could. This whole video could just be this one clip. I'm gonna play that again.
I mean, the thing that's cool is the giant monster.
It's the lamest, worst part of the whole season. That's the best you could come up with?
I mean, that's what's new.
What is new about that? Everything has the big monsters stomping around. It's called the Mind Flayer, mind. How did no one in the writing room bring up the concept of having mind games and trickery be what is cool? That could be the scale of it. They do it in season 4, they have the odd scene playing with the mind stuff. And all the jokes like making fun of comparing this to Marvel. I mean, like the Thunderbolts kind of did a Mind Flayer third act better than Stranger Things.
Oh wait, we have this VFX test. If you want the teens and Will and all them to face off against this giant mind flayer,
He's not even like a smoke monster anymore. He's like literally a giant spider. That's the cool bit.
they need to be outside of here when it comes alive.
Ideally, the thing stands up like a big spider and can do a chase, some version of a chase.
I don't even know what a chase looks like. It'll outrun them so quickly.
It's so wild they included this.
There have to be some monsters in the abyss.
I agree.
There has to be Demogorgon, Bat.
This guy's right. Another big critique is how empty that desert environment was, or where did all the creatures go? Which they did say in an interview was because Vecna wasn't expecting an attack, but this proves that that wasn't the thought process at all.
Dog, like something. It's crazy if there's nothing there, I think.
You know, in the Max Z, it is insane, and so climactic. And that it is climactic because we have 6 demos attacking simultaneously.
Yeah, I guess like I maybe feel wonder about demo fatigue at the...
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
It was so strange that they just disappeared.
So, but why do we have to have them in the desert then?
Because they run through the entire cave system. Henry is chasing.
This guy looks so confused.
Now they run out the upper exit and then down into the desert,
Okay, so
and then I don't know what the fuck happens to them.
We're not going to get
Like, no one knows what's going on.
a final script in time for you to do this, so we're going to have to base it on conversations with them.
That's it. Yeah, we're just gonna have to
God, how frustrating it must be.
figure it out.
And it has to be great. You know what I'm
It
saying?
has to be iconic. Everything has to be iconic. We'll get to that shortly.
Like, let's not forget that part of it.
Well, yeah, we're not gonna shit the bed at the end.
There's
Definitely challenges. I started on season 2. Season 2 ballooned and got a lot bigger. Season 3 was bigger. Season 4 was bigger. You have to grow with the show. Like, you have a melting office building. I don't know what to say.
I don't know either, and I still am confused what or why that was happening or even included. The cum room.
We just do it practically. We flood the set.
It's not
And then
cheap to
there's-
VFX the whole thing.
No,
either.
it's almost an impossible task.
No, we gotta flood it.
gotta
I
flood
think
it
it's
with
gonna be one of the more
Vecna's
memorable things.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
as crazy as it is.
Awesome. Sean will have nightmares about it.
I don't
for
want
the
to.
rest of his
I don't want to be
life.
there when we shoot it.
And it's such a great scene.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
This is so reminiscent of that Phantom Menace documentary they put together. Has a similar tone to this, where it's like them standing around saying, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
It's funny because when I read that script, all the crew members would walk by and go, "Have you read it yet?" You know, it was like they knew. Ooh.
To be fair to this clip, I think she's saying that it was the scale of it that was challenging from a practicality. Like, we've got to actually make this and build this perspective, not that it was inherently bad.
At the end of the day, the audience cares most about the characters and not the spectacle.
Huh?
But the ultimate goal is to collide the two. Max emotion, max spectacle colliding at the same time.
But it's such a tired way of viewing spectacle. It's not a very creative approach. It's a very like Hollywood. It has to be bigger, literally. Like there has to be a giant spider stomping around in a desert. Not more spectacle with the horror or the creature designs or the ambition of the story and cross-cutting between different characters. Or I don't know, there's so many different ways you could take it.
You watch a show like Stranger Things and you're like, oh, they're actually sculpting really cool things. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight all this work that kind of was wasted.
My tentative goal is all 12 columns are up by the end of July.
Because all this stuff is really cool.
It's perfect because it's still, I mean, you're still back to just like
The Max Z in episode 4, that whole sequence with Vecna coming out of the gate, I think it'll be something iconic.
Such a backwards way of viewing like a story you're making. Surely the thought process first should be, what is this adding to the story and characters? And the audience decides what is iconic. And most of the things that are iconic from this season are for all the wrong reasons.
Today's a very interesting day. We are shooting episode 8, which isn't completely written yet. Spoiler alert.
Like, no comment.
So we don't even fully know what's going on.
What are you doing?
Everyone on set is walking around with red script pages.
You don't want to jump out of story order too much because actors will get confused as to where they are. They haven't experienced certain events or had certain emotions.
I mean, yeah.
But the elements of summertime look from episode 8 need to be shot now.
I've never read 8 through, and we're just shooting it. I've never done anything like this anymore.
How did this happen?
This is so weird, jumping to 8.
He knows exactly what is wrong.
Don't love it. Don't love it, I gotta be honest.
You have to do what you gotta do.
Oh, this shot.
Hey, pictures up.
That sums up the entire season, this image. Oh my god.
Rolling.
He knows there's nothing you can do at this point.
It's based on like scientific theory.
It's all very realistic. When you guys read 8, it will make more sense. It's gonna
Like, they don't have answers. They can't actually explain the story to the crew.
probably be like 120.
Or the cast.
115 maybe? No way, dude. Dude, you gotta cut it down.
Very often, when you are directing, your job is to make the thing better than the script.
That's such a self-report coming from him. Again, here's a little reminder. Of course he's saying that. Yeah, the director of Free Guy is gonna say that.
Okay, let's go!
Let's go.
But these scripts, from beginning to end, from 2014 to now, they've always been so ridiculously good that my job is to do justice to them.
He's got such a used car salesman way of delivering information. I just wanted this clip of him screaming. In the nut room. What was it? Why did they have the nut room? Why was this so important?
This goo.
Oh my god.
And then the goo comes back to bite them.
So
Oh yeah, it looks kind of
right.
thin.
It looks so literally they're faking it really well. We're gonna have to rely on VFX more than I wanted to. Like, and what's really heartbreaking is that we all saw
It's amazing that they included stuff like this.
us for months that worked. Unlikely.
Like, why isn't Netflix so keen to show off like how much money and time they wasted with the lack of planning?
It looks just like water. That's not even close to right.
So I immediately go into Jedi level rigorous.
This is the dude. This is the dude who's directing a Star Wars movie now. Fucking hell, man.
Problem solving mode. Okay, I'm gonna shoot this angle. I'm gonna hold this till I can solve this problem.
Henry snaps to find 11
Yeah, this is a funny shot. Like, they just hold on it for so long.
stepping into the living room. A tense moment here as Henry takes in his sister for the first time in a very long time. His voice quivers with anger.
Where are they?
I think,
oh my God.
People like the authenticity of the show.
Yep.
That's how the show came into existence in the first place.
Yep. And
It started out
here we go again.
season 1 us going, everything has to be practical.
And that was my biggest critique with the first season, was that I wish more of the Demogorgon stuff and the visual effects were more practical. Some of it looks kind of rough.
But we've got a monster that's the size of 3 buildings. And
why?
And so obviously that's gonna have to be computer graphics. But
It's goofy. What are a small group of little humans supposed to do?
at the same time, we're out there with our actors and the elements. We're not on stage.
The more practical it is, the easier it is for everyone to lose themselves.
They're describing like the critiques everyone has. This is such a strange doc.
In the scene, working.
I mean, I'm glad they released it. You don't even need to question it, like why it was bad. They are screaming it in your face.
With blue screen. Usually ends up looking not bad.
Come on. That scene with Jonathan and Steve at the top of that tower?
But if at all possible, we avoid it. Frankly, Ross and I have a lot of trouble framing up shots when you're just looking at an actor on blue screen.
No shit.
I don't really understand what looks good, what doesn't look good.
Yeah. And surprise, surprise, it looked bad.
15 more.
Right, this is the last shot. This is the end. I only included this bit because it's just... I'll explain it.
Yeah, I was about to say, we have so much day ahead of us.
No. Can't be emotional already.
Got me first thing.
Stinky got me first thing. So when she says Stinky got me first thing, obviously that stood out to me and I had to rewind this a few times because they give you no context in the documentary, like who the Stinky guy is. It's this guy, who I guess in some kind of in-joke they call him Stinky. Hopefully he knows that. Imagine if he was watching it and that's how he finds out that everyone calls him Stinky. But if this was like one of those Lord of the Rings behind the scenes, there'd be a whole like little part explaining the in-joke. Instead, we just get...
I was about to say, we have so much day ahead of us.
No. Can't be emotional already.
Got me first thing.
Stinky got me first thing, guys. Stinky got me first thing. So as far as a documentary actually doing what a documentary should do, you know, like document honestly and truthfully, it's pretty well made and put together. With such a focus on the Duffers and Sean Levy, who, yeah, they're a big part of it, but there's like nothing from Winona Ryder really. And most of the clips of the cast talking are them giving feedback about why they should change a scene they're recording that they don't have like a script for. It's just such a mess. So let me know if this makes some of the issues of that last season make a bit more sense. You can check this out on Netflix if you're interested in the whole thing. Check out my review of the last season, put it in the description, and I'll see you next time. Bye!